Hey guys, Joe from the Crazy New York Driver Show. It is Friday and the date is June 7th, 2013. Sorry for the late video, but it's been a crazy week and next week's going to be even worse. I tell you guys, I haven't had time to do really anything. I've just been running around like crazy all week. I haven't been on YouTube that much, so some of you guys may not have gotten responses from me. Some of you did. All of you will. You know, I was on last night for a while checking out some videos, and it baffles me how there are some people that can make 4 or 5 videos per day babbling about nothing. And here, I can't even make one per week. I just don't have enough time. I'm just in shock about the whole thing. It makes no sense. But anyway, let's get started with today's eBay video. Before we do that, a few updates. Next week, I don't think I can do my show on Friday. I told you guys that there'd be a lot of on-the-road productions. I got one coming up this weekend, and I'll be doing a surprise video, and also some New York City videos, and I will put out one eBay video before Friday. Okay, so don't worry about that. Also, I would like to say that it is raining out again. Tropical Storm Andrea, or Andrea, is up here. It started raining yesterday at 3 p.m. That was Thursday. Today is Friday. It rained all day. And it's going to rain into tomorrow, which is Saturday. And you know what? It's 60 degrees out. I'm not kidding you. And last week's video, I was telling you how I'm not used to the heat. It was 90. I am wearing a sweatshirt, guys. I'm not kidding. It's freezing out. And this is the kind of weather we get here in the Northeast. It's always cool. We don't get any real hot days. It's disgusting. But anyway, I'd like to tell you about something going on in eBay Motors specific to used vehicles. There's some heavy-duty scamming going on, and we need to have a powwow about this right now. I'd like to introduce a friend of mine who I've mentioned in the past. His name is Doc. His YouTube channel, I'm going to put a link below to one of his videos. He's the one that actually woke me up to this. I've known Doc for many, many years. He's an expert in used vehicles. That's how we met. We've traded videos, we've talked about things. So he contacted me last week about this particular scam I want to explain to you, because it goes two ways. There's two versions of it, and I want to show you ironclad proof, tell you what they're doing, and tell you how I myself got involved. Crazy New York driver, saw what was going on and jumped in. Okay? Doc found a bunch of videos where overseas scammers are registering fake eBay accounts. Okay? Now, are they using somebody's stolen or phished identity? Most likely. And that raises a point that Doc and I are entirely in agreement about. eBay needs to verify people's information better. Alright? They've gotten better, but they're not 100%. eBay needs to verify every single user's address. As does PayPal. They need to verify bank accounts. I wouldn't even mind giving them my social. Everybody should be held to scrutiny. Because if you have nothing to hide, you don't mind it. Out with all these fake stealth accounts. I've always been against them. I always told you they were no good. This is ironclad proof. Every single one of these people I'm going to read out to you has zero feedback with a fake stealth account that was created overseas, or in some cases in the USA. What the people are doing is they're registering these fake accounts, and they're listing nice high-end cars that they don't have. So let's say in this one case I'm going to present, a guy listed a 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner Superbird. The guy is listing it and says you can have this car for $27,800. Any one of you guys that know cars, like I do, know that a numbers matching Superbird from 1970 at Barrett Jackson auction will bring over 150 grand. Even a half-ass one will bring in the 80s. If you see somebody listing one for $27,800, you know there's a problem. So the guy's got zero feedback, which is warning bell number one. If you check his history, he registered the account the day before, warning bell number two. In the text of the auction, he says, do not bid on this car until you contact me first. If you do bid on it before contact me, I will cancel your bid. The reason he's doing that is so he can get everybody's user ID who's interested in the car. He then contacts them off eBay, actually through eBay, and says to them, pay me off eBay, wire transfer me, let's say $9,000 to my bank in Romania or the Cayman Islands or wherever it is. And there are some suckers that will do that. They'll wire the money thinking they're getting this car, that's their down payment. They're not getting anything. Then the guy bangs up shop, he's got $9,000 for a day's work. Not a bad gig if you can get it. This has been happening in the last 2 weeks in unprecedented numbers. So Doc had been making videos every day. He started this, I think, Memorial Day or thereabouts. He would spot maybe 4 or 5 cars per day that were listed with zero feedbackers that had just started these fake accounts. And like I've told you guys in last week's video and the one prior, a person who signs up to eBay has no right, in my opinion, to list a $30,000 car the first day he signs up. Alright? When I signed up and I had zero feedback, I did at least 20 or 25 transactions before I even bought anything. And then when I did start selling things, it was $40 hubcaps. It wasn't a $30,000 car. eBay needs to hold every single seller to scrutiny. Find out their address, verify it, find out their credit card information, verify it. Put a charge on the credit card for $1, make the person verify it. Make them produce a Con Ed bill. Make them give their social. It will weed out all the riffraff. And I myself wouldn't mind doing any of that. To get back to Doc's story about the Plymouth Roadrunner, Doc took exception to this particular scam listing because it was such a nice car, such a rare car, and believe it or not, the scammer had stolen the car pictures and info from another auction site, meaning it was a legit car that was being auctioned off somewhere, just not on eBay. So the scammer stepped in, listed the car himself, and was taking bids for it. And a lot of people were bidding. I mean, he has like 15 bids. And sidebar, I'm going to put a link to one of Doc's auctions below about this Superbird. I want you to see it. Alright, just so you can get a quickie idea of what was going on. And a word of warning, just so you know, when you read the comments on Doc's video, you'll see my stalker is all over. It's saying negative things about me. That's just to be expected. Again, I hate to keep beating the dead horse, but if he gave you any trouble, there's a link about him below as well. But to get back to this 1970 Plymouth Superbird, it had been going for 3 days, and Doc was complaining that eBay hadn't pulled it down. So Doc mentioned that in order to report the listing, at the very bottom, there's a little report button. I mean, it's very small, and if you don't know where it is, you probably wouldn't see it. And in order to report the listing, you have to be signed in to your eBay account, and Doc said he thinks that's wrong. And Doc, with all due respect, I gotta tell you, there's a reason why eBay does that, and I support them. The reason is because there are people like my stalker below, you know who I mean, that would try and hurt an honest seller by reporting his account fraudulently. And I have videos on the site below to back up my claim. This was done to me. So what eBay is saying is report as many items as you want, but you have to do it through your account. In other words, to back up your words, and so you won't hurt an innocent seller. So I totally understand eBay doing that. So about 3 or 4 days go by and the account's still running. Alright? This fake account, and the guy's screen name is RAMO782. You'll see it in the video. You don't have to bother checking for it now. So Doc said to me, he says, Joe, he goes, would you just do me the favor this one time, and would you see if you can contact anybody at eBay and have this taken down? Now, I know for a fact, if I click the report thing, even on my account, excuse my French, it's like pissing in the wind. Because the way it works with that report link, even if you're an honest eBay seller, like myself and like most of you guys, and you click that report link, all that does is put that auction into a queue, a list, where the person who's in charge of risk management has to look at it. Now, I don't know how many guys they got working, but apparently it's not enough. And I'm not being disrespectful to you guys at eBay. I'm trying to be helpful. All right? I have a perfect idea how we can help you guys. I'll get to that in a second. So I said to Doc, I said, me clicking on that link is like pissing in the wind. I said, I think I'm going to contact my guy directly and just see what can be done. Within 1 hour, that auction was down. I'm not kidding. Doc was ecstatic. He even made a video about it, which you'll see. So my point that I'm making to you guys is eBay does not want scammers on its site. Alright? And as soon as they have ironclad proof of a scam or a scammer, they will act and take the auction down and bang the guy's account, as they did in this case with the Superbird, RAMO 782. But the problem is, and I got to be honest with you, they're not moving fast enough. Too many people are getting stung. Alright? How do I know this? I'm going to give you example number 2 right now. At about the same time, Doc showed me a particular scammer who actually hijacked a legitimate eBay seller's account. What the scammer did was he found a legitimate eBay car dealer. Alright, the guy had only 3 auctions running, 3 cars he was selling out of a legitimate car dealership. So what the scammer did was he sent the guy a phishing email asking for his password, and somebody in the dealership fell for it. So now the scammer's got his password, but instead of stealing the whole account, the scammer hijacked the account, and what that means is he lets the legitimate dealer use it as he wants. But this guy listed 6 or 7 scam auctions for fake cars he didn't have on this legitimate seller's account. So anyone that goes on the account would think they're buying it from the legitimate seller. To differentiate one from the other, if you look at the fake ones, it says, do not bid. Instead, call me at this particular phone number or email me at this particular, I think it was a Yahoo email. And Doc, if you happen to remember what that email was, if you would type it below to warn these good people. So anyway, he told me about it, and I looked at it and I said, this dealer is really being screwed because he's an honest seller and someone hijacked his account and he don't even know it. I mean, he must be asleep at the wheel. So I called the guy. I, crazy New York driver, took it upon myself to call this dealer. Alright? And I asked for him by name because his name was in his legitimate 3 car ads. And I said, I won't say his name on here. I don't want to embarrass the guy. I said, are you John Smith? He says, yeah. I said, how many cars do you have listed on eBay right now? He says, 3. I said, well, listen to me, Smith. I said, you have a serious problem. Listen to everything I'm about to tell you. I said, somebody has hijacked your account and they're listing fraudulent listings on your account, making it look like it's you. And he says to me, do you work for eBay? I said, no, I'm just a regular seller like you who hates to see people get scammed. I said, what you got to do, I said, hang up the phone from me. Do not do a single other thing before you call eBay. Tell them somebody has hijacked your account, all right, that you're not responsible for these fraudulent listings. Get them removed and please create a new password. All right? He really thought that it was eBay calling and it was just old crazy New York driver looking out for his best interest. Now, I was a bit taken back that that he didn't even know about this. I had to bring it up to him, you know? But guys, safeguard your account. Don't give your password to anyone, and please be aware of phishing emails. If you're in doubt, always check your emails and your eBay My Messages. Those are the true emails you should go by. Now, how can eBay stop all this crap? 2 ways. Number 1, do what I said earlier. Tighten up the verification process. Weed all these stealth fake accounts out. Alright? Prosecute these guys. Send them to jail where they belong. It's easy to do. Alright? Require serious verification. An honest seller will have no problem giving his details. Alright? Whatever they ask for, I would give them. I have nothing to hide. Secondly, about that report link we talked about below all the auctions, it's a good idea, I think, that you have to be signed in to report an item. That way it cannot be done maliciously to hurt an innocent seller like my stalker was doing to me. However, I don't think that's enough. I think, like I said, it's pissing in the wind. I think, and I've said this for years, people at eBay need to create ad hoc committees in each department. So talking about eBay Motors, if I may, you would take somebody like myself, like my friend Doc, and a couple of other guys who I can think of who know about cars, who know about this stuff, and we would be given certain direct access to the risk management team, so that if we report an item, it gets looked at first, because we have a good reputation and they know we're not jerking them around. That's my personal feeling. And the same would go for you guys who sell jewelry. If you're an eBay seller, you've been around for several years, you've got a good rating, you would be a perfect candidate for an ad hoc committee in the jewelry department or in the coins department. I know several of you guys sell coins and there's some problems with them. I don't see what's wrong. Everybody would win. eBay would win. Alright? It would be less work for them. Plus, it would clean up their site and get the scumbags off. The buyers would win because nobody would be taken advantage of. The sellers would win because all these fraudulent vehicle sellers are making the rest of us look bad. Okay? And I am freaking sick of it. I am going to devote all my YouTube time to weeding these scammers off eBay. With your help, I hope. Guys, I've been on the soapbox long enough, I think. I hope I can get this video uploaded tonight. It's a really important one. I'd love to hear your comments about the points I brought up. Scamming on eBay, fake accounts. I don't trust zero feedbackers. And I'm being honest with you. As far as a seller. I do not trust zero feedbackers. And I'm saying it on camera. I never sold anything when I have zero. Can you imagine opening a brand new eBay account today and listing a $30,000 car tomorrow? If it looks like a duck and walks like a duck, chances are it's a duck. I'm Crazy New York Driver. You're not. Thanks for watching. Comments below. And next week, I'll be on a different schedule because I got a lot going on. I won't be around that much. But you'll hear from me. Rock on, guys.